Hello students. I found out from one of my students tonight that there was an abrupt end to the video that I posted today. And then when I went back and listened to it, I realized what had happened. And I actually got a phone call during the video. And when I pressed the button, I ignored the call and I pressed the button and it didn't record. And so I am going to go back and reread a few of the pages that got left off of today's recording. But when the fork came into view, Captain Clark was not there. Near the fork was a thick stand of trees that could easily conceal a whole tribe of warriors. This started another round of fear and suspicion. Cameawait balked and brought the party to a halt. Fearing the Shoshones were about to turn their horses around, Captain Lewis handed his rifle to Cameawait. Turning to Drouillard, Lewis said, "Tell him that if his enemies are in those trees, he can defend himself with my rifle." At first, Drouillard was too shocked to raise his hands. He stared at the captain with his mouth opened. "Tell him!" Drouillard reluctantly made the signs. Cameawait understood, but he still hesitated to move forward. "Tell him that I am not afraid to die," Captain Lewis said. "Tell him that if I have deceived him, he can shoot me." "I don't think that's," Drouillard began. "Tell him!" Drouillard did as he was ordered. "Now give your rifles to the Shoshones." Drouillard, McNeil, and Shields looked as if they thought the captain had lost his mind. The men didn't like having their best friend hold their rifles. And now the captain was asking them to give them up to complete strangers and Indians to boot. "Do it now." I think this was the hardest thing these men had ever done, but each of them handed his rifle to the Shoshone next to him. This bold gesture seemed to calm Cameawait and his men down somewhat, and we proceeded on to the fork. When we got there, Captain Lewis asked Drouillard in a rather loud, cheerful voice if he remembered the place where we had left the note for Captain Clark downriver. We had put the note there several days earlier to apprise him of our situation. "Yes, sir." "Good. Take one of the Indians to the river and bring the note back to me." "But you wrote..." "Act like you've never seen the note before, and make sure your friend sees you find it." Drouillard nodded and returned a while later with the note, trying to act very excited, which was not an easy role for him to play. Captain Lewis grabbed the note out of his hand as if Drouillard had brought him a sack of gold. He showed it to Chief Cameawait, claiming it was from Captain Clark, informing them that Clark and his men would be along the following day, and to wait for them. Cameawait looked the note over carefully, and seemed fascinated with the idea that the captains could communicate with each other by making little marks on paper. "What will we do if Captain Clark doesn't arrive at the fork tomorrow?" McNeil asked. "I have no idea," Captain Lewis said. That night, for the benefit of the Shoshones, the captain feigned a jovial confidence he did not feel. The captain's cheerfulness seemed strained. The Shoshones were not fooled. They knew something was wrong. When the captain unrolled his blanket for the night near the fire, they put their beds all around him so he could not leave. So this is where you're supposed to make the prediction. Do you think that they will meet Clark the next day? And if they don't meet Clark, what are they going to do about it? Okay, sorry that didn't get on the last video. I hope this helps. Bye.